from the floor. Opening tip between the Tigers and the Cardinal, bouncing around and taken by Stanford.
And I'm not surprised to see a new lineup for Stanford. They are trying to find formations that work together. So 2 new starters in this one. Ujiwowe had an incredible game against SMU.
Agara off the mark for the first attempt. And that is taken in on the board by Miller.
They'll go in often to Agara, as they should. The offense runs through her.
Tigers 2-1 in conference play. 6-2 on their home floor. Coming off the win Thursday against Cal. Swooping in for 2. Summer Evans.
Evans is the X factor for me for Clemson. You've got everyone in their positions that do well. It's Evans who has so much to her game. She'll get to the rim. She'll spot up on the three-point line. Such a fun player to watch.
She's the graduate student from Australia. The answer at the other end of the floor, Bozgana with the bucket for Stanford.
And by the way, what I love most about Evans is she was the defensive player in the year a couple years ago in her conference. And so she is somebody that plays both sides of the ball.
Moore on the drive. And the kick out. On the weak side, Miller had a chance at it, trying to save it. Did, but right to the Cardinal.
And you're going to see a lot of three-point shots go up in this game. Both these teams top 15 in the country in threes. Stanford sits at number 3 in that category, shooting just under 40%.
A miss from 3 for the Cardinal from Bozgana. Tied up early on. Moore into the paint. Kicks it back out to Evans. Behind the line, and it rattles out. Dimitri had the position, trying to turn it into points at the other end. Whistle stops play on the stumble from Ujiwowe. First-year head coach is Kate Pay, taking over for the legend Tara Vanderveer, looking for that first ACC win. Their most recent road game was Thursday at SMU, and that was a loss 67-63. They shot just 39% as a team. They did make 9 three-pointers in that game.
And in this last stretch where they have gone 1 of 4, that number has continued to dwindle. They were shooting at 45% earlier in the year from the three-point line. Now they're still sitting at 3rd in the country, but in these last 5 games, only shooting just 25% from the three-point line.
In fact, 11 different players on the roster have made threes for the Cardinal this season.
And 3 of them have 20 or more.
We'll see if that's a developing storyline as the game goes on.
And then they'll go in and have like 40 points in the paint and a foul on the three-point line. Mia Moore will get 3 free throws.
Sean Poppy is also a first-year head coach across the way after 2 seasons at Chattanooga and winning the SoCon tournament twice and going to the NCAA tournament. They made 15 three-pointers. We'll continue the theme. They made 15 threes in a loss at NC State. It was a close loss, too, for the Tigers.
No, they were a few possessions away from winning on the home court of NC State. But you think about, so much was talked about, was that a moral victory for Clemson, right? You don't see them in those games as often in the past. But I was told this team was mad about that loss. They were in the locker room. They were not happy that they couldn't come up with the win. And what did they do? They came out and beat Sean Poppy's first-ranked opponent in Cal just a few days ago.
They also had an 8-point lead in the 3rd quarter against NC State. Battle on the offensive glass, and it's won by Bozgana.
Now, rebounding is going to be a key factor in this game, both offensive and defensive side. Stanford, although they're not as tall as we're used to seeing a typical Stanford team, they do a very good job, and they are a lot more height over this Clemson team, who's actually, Tom, the shortest in the Power 4 conferences.
They still crash the boards, though. Miscommunication there on the pass from Evans. Trying to find Miller. Ujiwowe brought it up. Bozgana, she is the senior from Athens, Greece. Had 20 points to lead the team in that loss at SMU this week. It's a little too strong from Agara. McQueen gave it up. 14 is Addie Porter trying to make her way through the paint, and then a collision and an offensive foul. That'll go against Moore, and that'll be her second.
Ijiwoye already making her presence known on the floor. She drove to the bucket while earlier, did not get it, but that is a huge charge and change of possession and an energy play for this Stanford team that desperately needs it.
Shea Ijiwoye, freshman from Phoenix, Arizona. Contributed with 16 minutes off the bench in the win at SMU, the loss rather, on the road at SMU. Bosgana somehow got it up on the backboard and scored.
I thought it was pretty good defense, actually, trying to get Bosgana outside the paint. She's still able to scoop it up off the glass.
She averages just over 13 points per game and almost 7 rebounds per game for the Cardinal. Three-point launch and a whistle again. Is that another foul on a three-point shot? And this time it was Hannah Cohn shooting it.
And Hannah Cohn is a tremendous three-point shooter. Has been phenomenal this year for Coach Poppy. Was one of the 3 that came with him from UTC. Came off the bench, actually, for him, and she wondered all along, could I play at Clemson? And Coach Poppy assured her yes, and she has had quite the season. Her numbers speak for themselves.
I think she's just removing some jewelry there. Okay, so there won't be any free throws coming.
Okay, so they're saying the foul came after the three-point attempt and sideline out of bounds.
Tierra Cruz, Teresa Stuck, Crystal Apolanes are officials for this afternoon. McQueen tried to cross it over. 32 is Raven Thompson. She was honored prior to the game for scoring her career 1,000th point. That was in a game at Wake. Shot clock all the way down. But Thompson crank it in. They are going to take a look at it as Thompson heaved it up at the end of the clock.
I was just going to say, keep your eye on Thompson. When I was watching film on her, all I could come up with was sneaky good. That girl can play, and Clemson's defense forces a turnover.
So Raven Thompson with the recognition at the end of the shot clock outside the arc.
Yeah, Raven Thompson uses the screen, one step behind, off the backboard, in for 3.
Just her 6th made 3 of the season. She got to double digits on Thursday against Cal. Thompson had 10 points and was 4 of 5 from the floor coming off the bench in 24 minutes. Miller trying to go around the defender. That's an offensive foul.
Tessa Miller, haven't talked much about her, but she has been phenomenal for this team inside. They use her a ton on the high post ball screen. She'll turn and face. They got her with, I think, an elbow to Bosgana underneath, and the officials will take a look at it.
So we'll take a timeout. It's close early on in our first quarter of play. From Clemson, South Carolina, ACC Women's Hoops.
The previous play is under review for a potential upgrade.
You're watching ACC Women's Hoops on the CW, presented by...
After review, the play is confirmed a common foul. Play will resume. Baseline Stanford's ball.
helping with development. Her office is just down the hallway. So, you know, she's there for us, for me, as a resource, as a support, and I just feel very fortunate kind of stepping into this role to continue to be able to lean on her.
Stanford hits a 3 out of the timeout, but she could not be saying truer words. As a longtime Stanford fan, both my parents went, my brother went to Stanford. I watched Tara Vanderveer teams play for decades, and the level of expectation is high. I love that Kate Pay has such respect and regard for her former head coach and mentor. And I'll tell you what, she's got the 3rd ranked recruiting class coming in next year. It is not going to be long before Stanford gets back into their winning ways.
3 national championships and 15 trips to the Final Four. 37 NCAA appearances for this proud Stanford program. McQueen had it knocked away for a moment, trying to recover. A lot of dribbling. Gave it off to Miller. Nice little escape dribble to lay it in.
Yeah, if Loyal McQueen's not going to the bucket, she is finding a player that's open. 2 times she's had 10 or more assists in a game this season. And she's always got her eyes up. That's what Coach Poppy wanted. When he took the job, he said, I just need to find my point guard. He recruited Loyal hard, and she bought in.
Agara off the back of the iron. Easy board for Miller. Look at McQueen downshifting. She just runs into the defender, and both players go down.
And that's what you're going to see from McQueen throughout this game, although I love the attempt to take the charge, right? Because you've got to send a message to those players running in transition. You cannot get to the rim. That's exactly what you want to do if you're Stanford. Hopefully they can come up with the charge next time.
Second foul on Clardy. You're watching ACC Women's Hoops on the CW, presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. 2-point lead of the first quarter for the visiting Stanford Cardinal. Told you at the top of the broadcast, the first ever meeting between these 2 programs. Stanford in its first year in the ACC. Tigers celebrating 50 years of women's basketball here in Tiger Town. McQueen, a little scoop.
Sean Poppy alluded to that, how exciting it is to take over in this 50th year.
Inside of 3.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Agara trying to work on the inside, got her own miss. Look at the work she is doing, and it produces 2.
Again, offensive boards already. Stanford with a couple. They've been able to score off of them, and Agara does such a great job of getting in position.
Cone sent it back out. Evans. That's for 3. Off the mark. Back to Stanford. Agara leads the Stanford team. She's at the top of the scouting report for Coach Poppy. 17.5 points per game. That's 7th in the ACC. And almost 8 rebounds per game, Kelly, for Agara. That is 10th in the conference.
And last year, Tom, off the bench, averaged 5 points a game, 2 rebounds in 13 minutes. So you talk about a breakout year. This sophomore is doing some good things.
Agara again to the rim. It bounces off. Anya Poole has joined the lineup for the Tigers as they run it back up the floor. Behind the intensity of Loyal McQueen. Started at Georgia Tech, played at Alabama as well. Tries that scoop again, doesn't have the angle. Harrell on the dribble for the Cardinal. Agara tried to thread the pass to Harrell, taken back by Poole. McQueen looking to run every time, Kelly.
Yeah, McQueen missed Cone. She was open behind her for the 3-point shot. Always got to look for that in transition. She takes it to the rim instead. You see Coach Poppy, though. I think he wants more movement from his team right now.
Foul on the drive. Agara picked it up on the drive by McQueen.
Very minimal contact, I would say, but they called a foul nonetheless.
Great conversation today at the shoot-around with Coach Poppy, who started recruiting Loyal McQueen when she was in middle school.
Wow.
When he was an assistant at Virginia Tech for Kenny Brooks. Then he went to Chattanooga as the head coach. Left the year before Virginia Tech went to the Final Four in 2023, but had great success with the Mox program.
Two-time conference champions, brought them to 2 straight NCAA tournaments. I mean, could there have been a coach in his first 2 years that was more successful and earned himself a head coaching job in the best league in women's basketball, the ACC?
Yeah, he's already been successful so far this season, especially in the ACC. They've posted 2 wins already. They won at Wake Forest and the win against number 20 Cal on Thursday on their home floor right here at Littlejohn Coliseum. Entry, Poole, patience.
Anya Poole was a player that came in against Cal in the 3rd quarter, and she helped turn the tide for the Clemson team. Things like that. Already we've seen her with 2 defensive stops because getting her hands in the way. And Loyal McQueen with the finish in transition. Defense turning to offense.
That's a home rim roll right there. That's what that is. Soft touch by McQueen. She's got 6 for the Tigers. Final 50 seconds of the first quarter, and the shot clock's inside of 10 for Stanford. Heel on the spin.
Maddie Heel, Tess Heel rather, I'm sorry, has done such great things. She is one of the 2 transfers Stanford took. That was number 2 and 3 in their history, picking up undergraduate Stanford, or graduate players rather, and she has done an excellent job filling in here.
Transfer from Santa Clara, where she played 2 years in that program for Heel. Shot clock down to 5 on the drive. Heel deflected it out of bounds, so there's 4.8 on the shot clock and 12 seconds on the game clock remaining in the first quarter. Two-point lead for the Tigers. As Kelly mentioned at the beginning of our show, as Poole comes up short, Tigers won 5 ACC games last year. They've already got 2 this season. Ujuoye misses underneath, and that ends the first quarter. The Clemson Tigers with a 2-point lead against the visitors.
Only make that they have so far. Stanford also just 1 of 4, so neither team shooting the ball well from long range yet.
Both teams with 10 points in the paint in that first quarter. McQueen leading the way with 6 for the Tigers, 6 for Buzgana for Stanford. Poole looking for a safety valve. And that ball back to Stanford. Agara. Buzgana trying to work off the screen. Get a 3 attempt out of the corner. Dimitri hits another.
And that's why I said yet, because both these teams can get hot quickly. And that corner 3 is a great spot against this Clemson defense.
Second 3 of the game for Dimitri. She now has 101 career-made threes and 25 on the season. She shoots 43% from beyond the arc. Shot clock is at 6 for the Tigers. And Thompson. Poole needs to get the shot away. Just barely does, and beats the clock.
Literally at the last second, I thought the shot clock was about to go off, and miscommunication there by point guard and wing. Ball goes out of bounds. Anya Poole didn't have much time here. Put the ball on the floor. I was surprised by that. Got a little closer to the rim, puts it in with the left. Good finish.
Now, most of Anya Poole's shots are in close proximity to the rim. However, she shoots 50% on the season. Not surprisingly, best shooting percentage on the team. Cohn directs a little traffic. Early minutes of our second quarter. McQueen slams on the brakes. Cohn with the shot clock winding down. McQueen wants it. Trying to beat the clock again. May have been deflected. Maybe a foul as well. Tess Heel, maybe a piece of McQueen on the play. And that was late in the shot clock as well, Kelly.
Yeah, and you want to be careful. You don't want to run at Loyal McQueen. She's not as efficient a three-point shooter as she is going to the rim. So you've got to contain her, but she runs at her, goes by her, and then has to draw the foul.
This week, CW Courtside Saturday rolls on with another exciting doubleheader. First, Syracuse heads to Chestnut Hill to battle Boston College, followed by Wake Forest taking on New Look Miami. CW Courtside Saturday. This week, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, only on the CW. Yesterday, we watched Wake with a victory at home against NC State on the men's side. ACC women's basketball, this is the first of 9 straight weeks as Ujiwoye has the bucket for Stanford. Tied up at 19 in the second quarter. Thompson down the lane. Defender on her shoulder. Great play by Dimitri to hold her ground and not foul.
Yeah, overall great defensive set there by Stanford.
Quick release, another one. Dimitri, her third 3 of the game.
Dimitri coming down in transition. Nice little flip back by Ujiwoye. Gets another 3 to fall.
She averages 11.5 points per game, and she's already got 3 made 3-pointers for a team in Stanford that averages almost 9 made 3s per game as a team. Poole with the shot clock at 6. McQueen looking for an alley. Offensive foul.
This defense has been phenomenal, especially in this second quarter. They have turned up the heat defensively. I'll tell you what, Hannah Cohn cannot get the basketball the way Boscana is playing her, overplaying her, not letting her see the light of day, and then on the screen picks up a charge. The second one for Stanford already in this game.
So the Cardinal up by 3. They are working on a 2-game losing streak after the loss Thursday at SMU. They have not lost 3 games in a row since January of 2001. And we all know who the national championship team was in 2001.
Who's that?
Kelly Deo's Fighting Irish.
I'd say Muffet McGraw's Fighting Irish, but I was happy to be a part of it.
Ruth Riley was on that team,
Yell
too.
Ivy's Fighting Irish. That was it.
Just want to add that. Miller backing it down against a double team and another offensive foul. Tess Miller, second personal.
You have no idea what an energy play that is. I mean, Tom, maybe you don't have an idea. Anybody who knows basketball, though, has an idea. Look at that. Gets into position. A bit of a flop, I'll give her that. But, hey, you got to sell it sometimes. But the third charge now. Ujiwoye has been a bright spot for the Stanford team that was looking for something. Stepped into the starting lineup today, and wow, she's not disappointed.
Trailed by 2 after the first quarter, leading by 3 right now in the second quarter for the Cardinal. Heel. Ujiwoye, Dimitri. Got to guard that 3-point shot for number 21 in black. Ogden. She got fouled in the act of shooting just beyond the free throw line.
And Dimitri was wide open off after that pick and roll. She's telling her teammate that right now, you missed me, and I've already knocked down 3.
Evans picked up the foul for Clemson. So Courtney Ogden is at the free throw line, sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. She's only attempted 6 previous free throws this season.
But this is a team overall, Tom, that lost almost 60% of their scoring from last year. Cameron Brink obviously graduated, and then Kiki Iriafen, pardon me, transferred to USC, now playing with Juju Watkins. A lot of fun to watch for sure, but this was there was an opening for a lot of Stanford players, and you're watching that happen right now. Agara stepping up, Ujiwoye lately. Dimitri's having a great season. Boscana, a lot of new players for this team, getting some good minutes.
Poole, the North Carolina transfer. Sends it back out to Cohn. That's offline. Dimitri the rebound. Clemson, by the way, also has 10 fresh faces and new players on that bench for Sean Poppy in his first year.
Second most newcomers in the country behind his former boss, Kenny Brooks at Kentucky. Brought in 11.
Boscana, a 3 for the Cardinal out of the corner.
Wow, these threes are much needed. Stanford, third best in the country at 3-point shooting percentage-wise. Loyal McQueen with some nice moves. Can't get the separation she needs from the big, though.
Free throw line, jumper is good from McQueen, and the left-hander has a smooth shooting touch.
And if you hear a little more eruption after Loyal McQueen does something well, her entire high school team is in the audience watching. Remember, she is a South Carolina native, Wilson High School.
McQueen has 9, and she and the Tigers trail by 5 in the second. Olivia Miles got her 6th career triple-double the other day. That ties the ACC record, and they are leading North Carolina on the road in Chapel Hill today.
She had triple-doubles back-to-back. Who does that?
They're looking to win their 7th in a row. Georgia Tech has won 15 in a row. So many great teams. Duke, Florida State, NC State, Clemson Tigers, Louisville Cardinals, on and on. 18 teams strong. Only 15 will make the tournament. Greensboro, North Carolina.
I love the surprise stories, and what Georgia Tech is doing right now is certainly a surprise, but not to them.
Poole at the end of the clock again.
Clemson certainly content to take the entire shot clock to get their shots off. I don't know if that is by intention or if that's just the Stanford defense has made it so tough to find an open look.
6 points now for Poole inside of 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. 3-point game. Heel. Around the edge. Couldn't get that one to bounce in. Agara chased it. Thompson grabbed it. Up to McQueen. Thompson wants another 3. And she's got it. Rip in the ropes for the Tigers.
So I'm telling you, sneaky good. Coming in transition. Stop and pop from the 3-point line.
3-pointers number 6 and 7 on the season in this game, Keller.
Right, I mean, the confidence, right? Can't stay with her offensive player, though. Got to play some defense as well.
That was Ogden with the drive for the Cardinal.
Raven Thompson, her dad played for the Chicago Bears back in the day, so you know the athletic gene is strong. Coach Poppy just had such wonderful things to say about this former UTC player. Went with him, one of the 3 players that came to Clemson with him. And she just scored her 1,000th point, was awarded before the game. Adding to that today.
McQueen. That 3 rattles out on the attempt from Porter. Joye has to send it back out. Dimitri. She misses on a 3-point attempt. She had made 3 threes prior to that shot. There was a collision underneath the hoop as Evans went to the court.
Dimitri is such a beautiful shot. High release. She takes no time. Her hands are ready when she receives the pass, puts it up, and I was surprised actually now that that one didn't go in after making 3.
Dimitri is 3 of 5 on 3-point attempts. Heel, difficult shot, knocked around by Poole, and then picked up by Klus. Stay tuned for today's halftime show presented by Intuit TurboTax. Now this is taxes. We'll go around the ACC in women's basketball on a big Sunday. And first half analysis and some of the numbers from this first half of play. So we've got 2:24 to go in the second quarter. It's a 2-point game. It was a 2-point game after the end of the first quarter, the lead for the Clemson Tigers. McQueen has 9 points, leads the way for Clemson. Dimitri defending, shot clock winding down, looking for the open player. Poole around the defense, and she lays it in. And now behind the play, there's a Cardinal player down. Poole now with 8 points.
And that's Nunu Agara. I don't even think it was a contact situation, but she looks like she is in tremendous pain holding that right knee.
She's off to the left. She wasn't even involved in the play and the move by Poole.
Oh, right now I think every Heart is just sick on that Stanford bench. Nunu Agara, leading scorer, leading everything for this Stanford team. So she's on the far side, and you see, yeah, I mean, no contact, just put her foot down and her knee completely buckles.
She got tangled up with Maddie Kloos. And so Agara, the leading scorer and rebounder for Coach Kate Pay, out of the lineup for the moment. Late in the second quarter. Stanford won 7 of its first 8 games this season. They've lost 4 of their last 5. Poole pulls in the rebound.
And so next player up mentality. That's exactly what you want. Stevenson goes in the game. First time we've seen her already on a drive. That looked good.
Porter misses the 3. Lozgano the rebound. Cardinal also looking for their first official road victory of the season. True road games, they are 0-4 and 0-2 in the ACC. Lozgano off the glass and good.
Yeah,
and she was fouled.
You got to keep going to her inside. She's got a mismatch. Thompson playing on her, gives up about 5 or 6 inches. And Bascana with that high release, going over the right shoulder with the left hand, up and in.
First foul on Anya Poole. Unable to complete the old school 3-point play. Tigers had it for a moment. Struggle for the loose ball, and the arrow favors the Cardinal.
Great hustle by Dimitri. That's what you want to see from this Stanford team, right? Still looking for an identity here. They are, you can tell they want this win badly. They're doing all the little things, hustling after 50-50 balls. 1-4 in their last 5 games.
Lozgano's into double digits with 11. That's the 10th time this season she's done that. Stevenson tries to hit the cutter. Harriel, it bounces off to McQueen. 3 of 5 from the floor for Loyal McQueen and 9 points. She leads the way. Anya Poole has 8, 4 of 5 from the floor for Poole. Porter tries the other side. Not the desired result for Porter.
Yeah, Porter just cannot find the basket. She has had 3 good attempts in the last few minutes, just has not been able to knock them down.
So the Tigers now in the first half, 2 of 9 from beyond the arc.
Hannah Cohn, their best 3-point shooter on the bench right now.
Final 10 seconds of the first half. McQueen got it back. Got it away, and it bounces out. Tried the runner at the very end of the clock, and it bounced off for McQueen. So she'll finish the first half after 2 years as the head coach of Chattanooga in the Southern Conference. Limestone University, Gaffney, South Carolina, just up the road. Also an assistant at USC Upstate, and Furman. So Sean Poppy and his team has the ball to start the second half and trailing by 2. Ogden is in there starting for Agara for Stanford. Up and under McQueen.
We see it again. Start of the third quarter, McQueen back to her usual ways, diving into the paint, getting it off the glass.
11 points now from McQueen into double digits.
Yeah, you look for the mismatch. They're switching on everything, so that should have been Ogden posting up against McQueen. Instead, she turns the ball over. Clemson ball.
Keeping an eye on the rebounding battle as well as they go inside to Miller. That was from McQueen.
Well, I told you at the break, Tom, I am surprised that Tessa Miller only had 1 attempt in that first half. She made it, but she starts off the third quarter already 1 for 1 as well, and Stanford throws the ball away.
And the ball back to Sean Poppy and the Tigers, 39-year-old, who played at Limestone University. His team is on a 7-0 run in the early stages of this second half and third quarter.
And he got to see firsthand what it looked like to bring a team back to prominence. At Virginia Tech, you know, they weren't what they are now when he got on that staff. They had to rebuild, and now he's trying to do the same at Clemson in this 50th year of the program. Coaching great Jim Davis, who we all knew to be so successful at Clemson. Comes to all these games, he and his wife Bobby in attendance today, and he is, I'll tell you what, that young man right there is making Jim Davis proud. He had some glowing remarks about his coaching.
Two-time ACC champs in the late 90s for Coach Davis in the Clemson program. Miller over everybody. Back to Porter for three. That could have been a moment for the home crowd right there.
You could tell. By the way, let's talk about this crowd. This is the most season ticket sales ever in Clemson history. They went up large percentages. They played in front of 5,000 against Cal. And they are bringing Clemson basketball back to an exciting place.
That's Ogden tying the game at 32. McQueen backs it out. Another home game coming up on Thursday against Virginia. And then Notre Dame on Sunday on the CW. Note the start time, 2 p.m. Miller tried to save it off of Dimitri and did. 6 on the shot clock.
Tessa Miller doesn't look like she would be an animal inside, but she goes after everything, gets the possession back for her team. We heard from the practice players that she is one of the toughest players to play against inside that paint. She goes hard for the rebounds.
McQueen tried to drive at the end of the shot clock unsuccessfully. .43% as a team in the game for Stanford. 43% as a team in the game shooting for Clemson. Busgana, the one-handed rebound. Ogden down the lane. Busgana found her.
Yeah, great pass by Busgana. Ogden with now a couple in this game.
Ogden is up to 7 points and 3 of 4 from the floor. Busgana, the only double-digit scorer so far for the Cardinals. She's got 11.
All right, best comment of this game right now. Nunu Agara set to check in to this game. That was a scary situation. We saw her knee buckle as Mia Moore misses the 3, and there's a tangle. But Nunu Agara now will come in to the game.
Ijiwoye and Moore got tangled up. Right there, left side of your screen. Each player is being assessed a personal.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the right call.
Ijiwoye and Moore, both with a foul. Third on Moore. Ijiwoye also has 3. And Agara coming back into the game. And here it was, away from the play, Kelly.
Yeah, her knee just buckles. She's holding it, and man, as a women's basketball fan, you hope that it's not bad, and it is such a breath of fresh air to see her back in this game. Stanford needs her. Let's see what she can do early.
Great news for the Cardinal, although an offensive foul is called, and it was on the screen that Agara was trying to set. Second personal, Nunu Agara. A couple of first-year head coaches involved in this game, and Sean Poppy and Kate Pay. Agara, quick conversation with the official. Tierra Cruz, Teresa Stuck, Crystal Apollanes in charge of our game this afternoon. Moore reversing field and driving. Couldn't calculate the angle, foul was called. You're watching ACC Women's Hoops on the CW, presented by Allstate. You're in good hands and will be all season long for ACC Women's Basketball on the CW. This is the start of 9 straight weeks. Take you all the way up to the cusp of the ACC Women's Tournament in Greensboro, North Carolina. By the way, it's in Greensboro for the 25th time this season, celebrating 25 years of championships in Greensboro, North Carolina. Spins out for more from the free throw line. Pass in tight quarters. Agara the catch. Leaps after the miss. Held ball and the arrow favors Stanford. The good news is that we saw Agara leaping without any issue.
But here it is, just the strength of McQueen to get her hand on the ball. That's a jump, but oh, so happy to see Nunu Agara, my fellow Minnesotan, back in this game.
What a great replay by our crew from underneath the basket. You could see that McQueen all ball to tie up Agara on the way up. It is Cardinal basketball. Inaugural season in the ACC for Stanford. Heel on the drive. So Stanford, here in this third quarter, has built a 4-point lead.
And they called a delay of game on Stanford. I think they held the ball after it went through the hoop. Not supposed to touch it. Just walk away, let the other team get it.
Tigers 6-2 on their home floor this season. They went 5-13 in the ACC last year. Double team on Thompson. Turns and shoots. Agara gobbles it up.
I like that play, though, because we've seen a lot of one-on-one from Clemson lately. Only a few players have touched the ball. That time they ran a play to the finish. Got a good look.
Last win for Stanford came December 16th against UT San Antonio. 62-57 at home, Maples Pavilion. Tigers get the ball back.
That was all Thompson right there. The hustle underneath somehow got it out to Miller. I'd love to see Hannah Cohn get involved here. They have played excellent defense on her, not letting her get an open look. Thompson, though, gets one.
She was looking for her third three-pointer of the game. She banked one in the first quarter at the end of a shot clock.
And Agara was open in transition. You got to always have your eyes up, especially for a player that can run like Agara can.
Right now, the Cardinal with the lead on the boards, 25-19. That's an important number to keep an eye on. Both teams a lot of success when they out-rebound their opponent. Dimitri on the inside got tied up with Thompson, and Raven Thompson picks up the foul for the Tigers. Trailing Stanford 36-32 on the CW. Central right here on the CW. Back to the live action. Inside Little John Coliseum, Tom Wormy along with Kelly Dale, a member of the 2001 National Championship team at Notre Dame, and our outstanding production crew with you here on the CW. McQueen to the rim and a foul.
She's put together quite a game so far. 11 points for her, trying to add to that right now. 4 assists. And that is the 5th foul she has drawn.
So McQueen to the free throw line, 3 of 4 from the stripe so far in the game. 84% on the season. And you get the feeling now we might be going down to the wire in this one, as we are 4 minutes and change to go in the third. And it's been close most of the way as McQueen converts. Stanford with a 2-point lead at halftime. They've had the halftime lead in all of their wins this season. They're 8-5 so far this year. Inside easy two, Agara. She's got some bounce in that knee.
You got to keep going to her inside. Great movement by the Stanford Cardinal on the outside. Guards shifting, moving so the defense doesn't stay around Agara inside.
Agara's got 4. She's the leading scorer this season for Stanford, 17.5 points per game. Bozgana, by the way, for the Cardinal, her second career double-double, 11 points and 10 boards this afternoon against Clemson. Heel is the cutter. Cohn defending. Entry, Agara. Fancy dribble. $1 million move, and she got fouled by Anya Poole. Second on Poole.
I realize that positionally, she is a post player, but she has got guard skills. She actually reminds me, as I was watching, and obviously these are from my Notre Dame eyes, she reminds me so much of an Enrique Ogunbowale. She's got that same kind of body, real, like, quick to the rim, great ball handling skills, a little taller than Enrique, but she definitely reminds me of the great Notre Dame player.
Nunu Agara, sophomore, 6'2", Minneapolis, Minnesota, 75% from the free throw line on the season.
She played high school basketball with a little-known player by the name of Paige Beckers. Won a couple state championships for the Hopkins Royals, just a few miles from my hometown of Edina, Minnesota. And so she knows a thing or two about winning and was waiting for her spot. And it opened up with the exit of two great post players, and wow, has she played well.
3-second violation against the Tigers. It was McQueen dribbling and trying to find Poole, who will exit the game. Tessa Miller comes back in, 22 in white. Agara, by the way, December 5th. Stanford was at number 5 LSU. They lost the game in overtime. Agara had 29 points, 13 rebounds, both of those career highs. Bosgana missed on the drive. Ball goes out of bounds, Tiger basketball. Next weekend, get ready for 2 days of exciting basketball action. Men get us started. CW courtside Saturday doubleheader, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Syracuse takes on BC, followed by Wake against Miami. Then on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, the women take center stage. Super sophomore Hannah Hidalgo leads number 3 Notre Dame against these Clemson Tigers. Fantastic weekend of basketball action next weekend, only on the CW. Miller lays it in for Clemson.
Well, great play, because everyone's so concerned about Cone getting a three-point look, so they overplay the screen, and Miller just gets to the rim, gets the pass and the bucket.
Hasn't missed a shot. She's 3 for 3 and 6 points. Tessa Miller. Mia Moore is going to pick up the foul, her 4th.
So here's Bosgana, does a great job of using that screen, right? That's what you got to do, shoulder to shoulder. Mia Moore tries to go over the top, gets the foul called.
So Moore, who has just 1 point. She's a double-digit scorer on average this season. Second on the team, almost 12 points per game. She scored 1 and has 4 personal fouls. It's the reason she's on the bench right now.
Yeah, just 1 in double digits for both teams right now. McQueen with 13, Bosgana with 11.
So a foul on Miller, her 3rd, 5th on the team, so that will result in shots for Agara. If you're just joining us, she left late in the first half, favoring her right knee, helped off by the training and medical staff. Her return is miraculous, and she appears to be back to almost near full capacity, which is great news for the Stanford Cardinal, leading scorer and rebounder this year for Stanford.
Only one player was returning for the Stanford team that had over 20 minutes a game of experience, and that player is Lopolo, their point guard, who has not played since the 5th game of the season. She's been out with a knee injury. And so this is a team that had hardly any returners that had significant minutes. A lot of spaces to fill, and they are still trying to figure out groups that work well together. This was a new starting lineup today, too. Started for the first time.
Raven Thompson, the junior from Atlanta, Georgia, is at the free throw line for the Tigers. She went to Langston Hughes High School, scored over 1,300 points and over 1,000 rebounds, Kelly Dale.
I love that. Also had offers to play softball. I like her choice. And Heel, just not good communication with Bosgana. Thought she was going back door. Heel throws it away.
Clemson with the ball and trailing by 2. 140 and rolling late in the 3rd. McQueen on the handle. Miller. Inside, Thompson sprung free.
Now, there's so many screening actions going on in this Clemson offense, and Stanford is overplaying certain things. Clemson has done a great job of reading it.
Tied for the 10th time in the game. Pass in the paint. Agara unties us.
How does she not get the ball every time down the court? That's my question. She is so good with the ball in her hand, and it doesn't mean she has to score every time. She'll pass as well.
Had just 2 points in the first half for Agara. She's up to 8 now after that last bucket.
And that's not because of the injury. She only missed a couple minutes because of that injury. I don't think they got her the ball enough.
Give and go. Cone got it back from Miller. Couldn't finish it off. Agara driving right to Miller, and she spins it in.
And that's the leader on the team, because Agara had Heel open on the three-point line, another shooter on the three-point line, and she took it herself. She's saying something right now. I want the ball in my hands, and I want to get an ACC win.
Agara to double digits with 10. Triple team on Miller. Got it back to Thompson. Trying to drive in, knocked away Dimitri. So there's 12 seconds on the shot clock, Kelly. It's about a 4-second difference, game and shot. And it's a 4-point lead for the Cardinal after leading by 2 at halftime. McQueen floats it and hits it. Now she's a left-hander.
Yeah.
Did it with the right.
Yeah, she'll go either hand.
Heel trying to beat the clock. Dimitri did not get it away. And so that late bucket by McQueen makes it a 2-point game.
That coming out in this fourth quarter now, down by 2 to the Stanford Cardinal. This has been an exciting game, Tom.
15 points for Loyal McQueen. That leads all scorers. Bosgana has 11 and 10 boards. She leads the way for Stanford. Thompson. She knocks down another 3.
I'm sorry, she was not on the scouting report at the beginning of this game as the consistent three-point shooter, but that is her third, Tom. She's sitting at 13 points for the game now.
That is a season high. She's 3 of 4 on three-point attempts. Fight for the loose ball. Agara comes up with it. Ball did not hit the rim. No reset on the shot clock. Ijiwoye. Dimitri. Driving. Leaves it for Agara. Too strong. Right to Klus.
Yeah, good job by Klus, too, to get back. She went for the double, saw that she left the leading scorer, Nunu Agara, open. Don't want to do that, and got out to defend it.
Tigers are in the lead after the 3 from Thompson. They missed all 4 three-point attempts in the third quarter.
You know who hasn't hit a 3? It's Cone.
Klus tried a 3 from the corner. Miller runs it down. Cone is in there, number 5 in white.
And they have been all over her defensively.
She's made 38 threes this season. Cone leads the team in that category. Today, Thompson leads in that category. Feeds Miller over the other shoulder for 2. 47-44 Tigers.
I love the Clemson storyline. It's a bunch of mid-major kids who have all come together.
The Tigers with their largest lead of the day, 47-44 in the fourth.
No, they will do outside, inside, whatever you give them. And today, they've done a great job in the paint. Raven Thompson, by the way, has all of their three-point makes in this game.
Even further, Raven Thompson had made 5 threes all season.
Wow.
Before today. And the Tigers are on a 7-0 run. Stanford has not scored yet in the fourth. Agara trying to change that against Miller. Stumbles down, tied up by Miller. Arrow will favor the Stanford Cardinal. Looking for a cable news network which respects all Americans? Then you have a new home with News Nation. See why News Nation is America's most trusted cable news network. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnationnow.com. Stanford in the black with the basketball. Off the backboard and in. On the drive from Chloe Clardy.
I like that play call right there, because I think everyone would have thought that Nunu Agara would get the ball, potentially Bosgana, but that time Clardy all the way in for the 2.
First points of the day for Clardy, who got her first start of the season in our game today. Thompson, handoff, McQueen. Shot clock is down to 5. Baseline Thompson, kicked away by Ogden. Reset the shot clock to 20 seconds with 7:39 to go in the 4th.
And I like the baseline drive, but you got to have your eyes up, because on a baseline drive, often the help will come down and shooters will be open. And that's the shooter they want to get open. Hannah Cohn, leading 3-point shooter on this team. She will obliterate.
Yeah, McQueen had nowhere to go. Thompson drives. 15 points now for Raven Thompson. Bosgana misses on the 3 ball. McQueen comes out of the fray. Experienced maneuver by McQueen there. Saw she did not have the numerical advantage as we go inside of 7 minutes to play.
Yeah, and I think time is a good thing to start ticking off the clock too when you've got even a small lead.
Thompson driving again, switch to the right. Not enough steam on it to get it off the backboard.
I think that's where she should have stayed with the left, put it right over the front of the rim.
Agara. Clardy. Clardy trying to get that one over Miller. Agara had her hand on it. Saved by Miller to McQueen.
Miller's done that so many times. The extra effort, and then Loyal McQueen forces another foul. She has done this all game long. Going to the rim. We mentioned it early. Look at the change of pace. Gets the foul. Trying to will her team to another ACC win.
She likes that hesitation, drive, and scoop with either hand, by the way. She's demonstrated skill with both hands in that regard. 5 of 6 from the free throw line in the game for Loyal McQueen, an 84% free throw shooter.
In that game against NC State, where they actually had the lead in the 3rd quarter, you don't see NC State go to a zone very much, but they had to because of what McQueen was doing inside the paint.
Don't forget, we're right back here on the CW next Sunday, 2 o'clock, as the Tigers host number 3, Notre Dame. Foul called on the drive. 4th from Ijiwoye.
Maddie Kluse in a great position to take the charge, and that's what you want. You want these energy plays. You're playing in front of your home crowd, getting a lot of people in attendance here, and trying to knock off Stanford.
McQueen rattles out. Fight for the loose ball, Miller. Preserving the possession.
It may not come up on the stat sheet, but Tessa Miller has done so many good things inside that paint. Ijiwoye comes up with the steal, and then Loyal McQueen with the foul.
So we told you that Notre Dame will be here at Little John Coliseum next Sunday. They have posted a win this afternoon in one of the 8 games in ACC women's action on the road in Chapel Hill against North Carolina. So Notre Dame solidifying its position as one of the top teams in the nation with a road win in the ACC. Stanford's trying to do the same thing. Dimitri for 3. Bounces out to Moore. Stanford still yet to score. In the quarter, they've got 2 points. They've got 2 points so far. Moore. Bosgana had it for a minute. Diving after it is Moore. Cone goes over, tries to save it, can't do it.
And that ball is going to go to Stanford, but Tessa Miller again just stayed active on the glass. It looked like it was easily secured by Stanford, but she continues after it. Kate Pay trying to pick up her first ACC win, playing actually her first true original ACC opponent. They had Cal and then SMU, so this is her first look at the original ACC.
Bosgana for 3. That bounces out. Tough luck from beyond the arc for Stanford recently. Moore flying up the floor. Bozgana over the top to grab it for the Cardinal. Stanford now 4 of 15 on three-point attempts. These were two of the better three-point shooting teams. 3 made threes for Clemson in the game. Dimitri. One-handed maneuver with the right hand. Trying to get it past Miller, and a foul is called. Third on Agara. 51-46. Tigers in front.
They pull it out.
6 teams in the top 25 out of the ACC. Virginia Tech's men won on a last-second shot against Miami yesterday to post a win. The women do the same today against the Canes. Thompson trying to back it down. Late in the shot clock. Needs a safety valve and Cone. We're going to try again with Thompson. Bozgana defending. Thompson! It bounces out.
Oh, what a great look. I love the kick out and then the repost by number 32 in white. And Agara, you kidding me?
Agara the other way after the Thompson miss. She's got 12 in the game.
Yeah, don't celebrate too long after the make. The Cardinal are coming back quick. You just see it, don't you? Especially in Nunu's eyes. She wants a win.
Timeout by the Tigers.
Like all eyes still looking toward the baseline. Nunu Agara comes in behind him. Miller tries to defend at the end. Look at the move to the left. And right now they are desperately in need of a win today against the Clemson Tigers.
Looking for their first ACC win early in the conference schedule. Tigers can win their 3rd ACC game. Cone, angular rebound for Agara after the miss by Cone. Agara driving, Miller defending and fouled.
I mean, same exact story, right? Right after, that time it was a miss by Clemson, but Agara gets the ball and just puts her head down and goes to the rim. It's what you need to do. Last time got a score, this time has an opportunity at the free throw line where they have not done well as a team. That one goes in to make it 5 of 12.
And Agara's got 3 of those makes from the line. And you can make it 4. $14 points for Agara after the free throws. And it's a 1-point game. Tigers with the lead. Just over 3 minutes to go in regulation for more. Shot clock inside of 10. Thompson, aggressive move. Taken back by Agara. Chance for the Cardinal to take the lead. 10 ties and 8 lead changes. Could have another one right here on this possession for Stanford. Agara against Miller.
Yeah, that's the right call. I saw Miller's arm go underneath Agara before she took that shot. Yeah, it gets stuck underneath there. Can't do that.
So that's the 5th on Miller. So she has to go to the bench. 8 points, and she has fouled out. Anya Poole into the lineup for Miller.
On her exit could be devastating for Clemson. Anya Poole, though, a very capable post player inside as Clardy goes to the rim. Gets fouled.
3rd on McQueen. So Miller's out of there with 8 points and 8 rebounds. This is Chloe Clardy on the drive against McQueen. So Clardy's at the free throw line. Sophomore from Conway, Arkansas. 76% from the stripe on the year. Averages just below 8 points per game. Big free throws to give Stanford the lead. 52-51.
Yeah, those are huge free throws, considering how poor they have been all game long. Fourth quarter, this is when you want them to go in.
9th lead change. Moore on the baseline, falling down, and she was bumped.
And we are just back to back to back with fouls right now. Mia Moore, I like going to the baseline, but one step late is Stanford. Foul on Clardy.
Corner on the inbounds to McQueen. Moore into the paint. Back out. McQueen lays it in. Had the defender behind her. Hidden Dimitri.
Yeah, nobody came over that time. Agara came over when Moore tried to penetrate, but Loyal McQueen found the lane.
She's got 19 points after scoring 18 against Cal on Thursday.
And they're going to say Cone got her with the body up top.
So that'll be the 5th on the team for the Tigers. So free throws for Buzgana. Second foul on Cone. Buzgana has another chance to tie us up. Just 50% from the line as a team for Stanford in this game. 8 of 16. Second run good. We're tied at 53. Inside of 2 minutes to go in regulation. This is just the first chapter of what should be a long rivalry between these two programs. If this is the way they're going to start things in their first ever meeting, watch out. Shot clock is down to 5 for McQueen against Buzgana. Buzgana picked up the foul. She was walking to the other end of the court.
I think she thought that it was a double dribble call, but no, I mean, clearly there was a lot of hand check early on. I've done that before. Celebrated
so
a little early.
McQueen at the line. McQueen now with her 3rd 20-point game of the season. 8 of 9 from the stripe, Loyal McQueen. She's a good free throw shooter. And that one bounces out. 1 point lead for the Tigers. Clardy driving with the left. Lost it on the way up. Poole came in to grab it. Needs a little help and gets it from Porter.
And you see Coach Poppy saying, let's take some time off this clock.
McQueen. Just 1 point in the game for Mia Moore. Porter, inside of a minute to go, trying to find Poole. He goes out of bounds and will stay at this end of the court with 4.1 seconds on the shot clock and 58.5 seconds on the game clock.
You got to be certain of every single one of those passes this late in the game.
Thompson needs to get it up on the cylinder and does! Raven Thompson for the Tigers by 3.
I'll say it again, that girl is sneaky good.
17 points, Raven Thompson. Agara, Buzgana launching a 3 and she hits it.
Wow. Couple feet behind the line. Ties the game again.
13th tie of the day. Elena Buzgana with a 3. Top 3-point shooter for the Cardinal this season. Tied at 56.
Ball better stay in the hands of Loyal McQueen if I'm Clemson.
Late in the shot clock. Thompson off a Poole screen from the free throw line, bounces out. Agara has it. Final seconds now and a timeout. Timeout, Stanford, 9 seconds flat to go. Tied at 56, Kelly Deo.
Raven Thompson tries to gets the bucket to fall on that one. And then the answer, Bosgana, couple feet from the line, ties her team back up.
All right, let's take a look at today's player of the game, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, and motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. Loyal McQueen leading everybody with 20 points.
6 of 11 from the field. She has penetrated consistently, found the players that have been open. 6 assists for her today. When they've needed a bucket, they've gotten to number 1. She is not disappointed, getting a stop on the defensive end as well. Loyal McQueen, your player of the game.
Add 6 assists to that robust stat line for number 1. Loyal McQueen, the graduate student from Florence, South Carolina. Father Derek, who played at Wake Forest, late 80s, early 90s. Sweating this one out with 9 seconds to go. And her high school, Wilson High School, those players are in attendance as well. They were playing a tournament in Atlanta, and McQueen has put on a show for everybody in the place.
We're hearing a lot of Loyal McQueen fans behind us. She told us before the game her mom and dad are in attendance, grandparents, everyone coming to the Clemson show.
Final seconds, tied at 56. Agara to win it for the Cardinal, and it spins out, and a foul was called. A foul was called, offensive foul.
You could hardly hear the whistle in the middle of this crowd, but they're going to call Agara with the offensive foul. Thompson, how many great things has she done today in this game? Gets the stop.
So the officials are at the monitor. Crystal Apolanes came in to make the call on the offensive foul against Agara, her 4th, as Thompson got the position. Right now, the clock is all zeros, and we're tied at 56.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to try to figure out, is how much time, once the whistle's blown, and the official is on the far side. And you see still no call there by her. I don't see her hand up. And now she calls it.
Sierra Cruz.
After review, the foul occurred with 1.2 seconds on the game clock. The game clock will be set to 1.2 with Clemson basketball option to advance.
So because it's an offensive foul, there aren't any free throws involved with the play, although both teams are into the bonus. 1.2 seconds put on the clock.
And this is Coach Poppy's specialty right here. ATOs, technically not a timeout, but he's got a scenario where he can draw this up. They spend a lot of time on these in practices. So this is a team that has been drilled in this. I imagine the ball is going to go to number 1. And you don't have a lot of time with 1.2 seconds. Could go to Cone as well with her ability to shoot outside. She's not seen the light of day hardly because of the way they've defended her. McQueen, though, taking the ball out.
Yeah, Cone has not scored in the game, Kelly. Will she get it right back is the question. With
Could be a give and go, yeah.
This to win it for the Tigers if they can get a shot away. McQueen gets it in all the way to Poole. Now the time runs out, but the clock started and elapsed. So the McQueen pass.
Previous plays under review for timing with respect to when the ball hit out of bounds.
I think there's still time.
So it looked like Bosgana touched it with her left hand.
I believe that would have started the clock.
And sent it out of bounds. Now, the clock does not stop until it hits something out of bounds.
Okay.
So you have to determine when that ball went off of Bosgana and then hit the ground out of bounds. And then how much time do you have remaining there? Now, The key is, it should be Clemson basketball, correct? Because it went off Buzgana. It looks like Buzgana's left hand. Let's determine
now
this first.
Does Pools get in on it, right? There, can't tell from that angle.
And again, you need 0.3 on the clock for a catch and shoot. So you need, there's a couple of things working here. First of all, I mean, and these are fantastic replays that the officials are getting a look at, but they're trying to determine, first of all, who's got possession.
After review, the game clock will be reset to 0.8. It's Clemson's ball.
Okay, so enough time to get a shot off, right? Here's the scenario. You wish you had a 6-6 inside. But I could imagine Anya Poole rolling into the middle of the lane, throwing the ball up to her for a tip in.
0.8. Quarter inbounds. Moore got the shot away. That would have won it for the Tigers, and they're looking for a foul, too, that they will not get. Off balance unsuccessfully. Offensive foul was called, and a miss by Mia Moore, an off-balance shot from about 15 feet away that wouldn't fall. And so Stanford has possession to start overtime. Tied at 56.
And so now you're without Tessa Miller for these last 5 minutes. Remember, she just fouled out. A couple with 4 fouls for Stanford, 1 with 4 fouls for Clemson. So fouls could be an issue in this one.
Stanford led by 2 at halftime, by 2 after the third quarter. And Clemson outscored them 14-12 to tie it up to send us to overtime. Moore cross it over against Clardy. That bounces off the rim.
It has not been Moore's day. 0 of 6 from the floor.
Just 1 point for Moore, 1 of 5 from the free throw line as well. Dimitri.
Get Agara in the paint and give that girl the ball.
Shot clock at 7. Jumper. Agara mid-range. Stanford in front.
Or the free throw line. That works too.
$16 points for Agara now after the jumper. Clemson looking for the response. McQueen threads the pass. Anya Poole fouled. Buzgana in the neighborhood.
What a pass by McQueen. She's been such a great scorer, so you got to play her for the shot in the mid-range. But the vision, this is the point guard that Coach Poppy needed, wanted, and got. And she has bought into this system. Now Anya Poole, an opportunity to tie the game. She misses that first.
First free throw attempt of the game for Poole. You can see Moore. She's a double-digit scorer. Just 1 point today, as Kelly mentioned. 0 of 6 from the floor. She missed her only 3-point attempt as well. Poole's got 1 of 2. All right, 58-57. 3.5 minutes to go in overtime. Second OT game of the season for Stanford. The first for the Clemson Tigers. Buzgana on the curl and drive. Off the front rim. Agara out of nowhere. Grabs it and scores.
That's Stanford's 8th offensive board. And they've scored 10 times off those chances.
Agara, who left the game favoring her right knee late in the first half. A factor and a big one in the second half as well. And just put Stanford up by 3. To tie it, McQueen bounces off the iron. Dimitri the board.
Look at Coach Poppy on that sideline.
Buzgana, cone defending. Agara backs it out. Little reset with 10 on the shot clock. Agara lets it fly. Long rebound to Clardy. Driving right to the rim. Poole got a piece of it. Moore tried to save it, and she did, to McQueen. McQueen slamming on the brakes. Poole almost ran into her. Chance to tie with a 3 for the Tigers. Just 3 of 17 on 3-point tries, and the pass by Thompson is intercepted. In fact, Thompson is the only Tiger to make a 3 in this game, Kelly.
That is jaw-dropping. You think about the consistency of players like Hannah Cohn and others, Mia Moore.
Thompson picked up the foul, her second. Coach Poppy's team made just 4 threes on 11 tries in the win Thursday at home against number 20 Cal. Clemson Tigers have not been to the NCAA tournament since 2019. They went to the WNIT in 2023, and as you know, Stanford, a perennial power. They made the Sweet 16 last year in the NCAA tournament. That's 1 of 2 for Dimitri. So that's a 4-point lead. 1:45 to go for the Stanford Cardinal on the road. Deflected, Buzgana out of bounds.
Clemson, the last 3 possessions have not had clean passes. Stanford has done a good job of deflecting, but Clemson's got to be sharp.
Gone over 2 minutes in overtime without scoring. Whistle along the baseline. First on Dimitri. She is one of 3 double-digit scorers in the game for Coach Pay and the Stanford Cardinal, with Poole back at the free throw line. Poole had only attempted 5 free throws all season before today. This will be her 4th. And she's made 3 of 4.
And she's put in good minutes, especially as Tessa Miller went out of the game, having fouled out.
Poole's got 11 points as well. Buzgana stepping around Cohn, front rim, and Cohn got it.
It's a big stop right there for Clemson. Can they tie or take the lead?
Yes, they can tie. 61 all. McQueen over the front rim.
And now the crowd starting to get into it.
22 points for the progressive player of the game. Agara inside against Poole. Ball goes out of bounds and will stay with the Cardinal.
What a block by Poole inside. But Loyal McQueen takes a second, lets her defender get caught in that screen, goes left, her strong side, gets the rolling in.
Right now, she is on her career high of 22 points. She is way above her season average of 13.7 to lead the way for the Tigers this year. Clardy got away from McQueen. Tied up at 61 in overtime. Agara spinning off the glass, could not calculate the angle, and Moore was there for the rebound.
Yeah, Clemson, I thought they were about to call a timeout to set something up, but he is just letting his point guard take some time off the clock.
Tied at 61. McQueen on the handle. Hesitation to drive. The scoop is strong off the glass. Foul is called as McQueen hit the deck. 15 seconds to go in overtime.
That is a lot of trust from coach to point guard right there. Lets her take it. No, didn't have to call a timeout to set up a play. Trusted in his point guard to take it in. Gets the foul, as she has done so many times in this one.
So that was the 5th on Chloe Clardy, although she went over to the bench and Clardy is out. McQueen with the free throw. That's a new career high of 23 points. Loyal McQueen.
Proud daddy.
Yeah,
looking
Father
on.
Derek. Her high school team is here, Wilson High School. 2 free throws, McQueen, and a 2-point lead, 63-61 for the Tigers. 15 seconds to go in OT.
What an incredible job Clemson has done. Almost knocked off NC State, a few plays away from it, comes out, knocks off number 20, Cal, on Thursday to get their first, Coach Poppy's first victory over a ranked opponent, and now they have Clemson. They are up to 17 seconds to go. They've got to defend in order to get this win.
Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Sean Poppy of the Tigers trying to win their 3rd conference game. This program won 5 all of last year and lost in the first round of the ACC tournament to Boston College.
And they're going to call another timeout. Clemson.
So 1 remaining now for the Tigers.
Maybe wanted to see the way they were going to set up, although that could change again in just a minute.
Tigers have gone on a 6-0 run here in overtime to take the 2-point lead after the free throws by McQueen just moments ago. She is 10 of 12 from the line, 24 points, 7 of 13.
I think the ball could go to a couple places. Boscana has had the hot hand today. She looks good, but in my estimation, I think you give Agara the ball inside and let her go to work. Time, though, you got to make sure you don't take a shot too early. I'd say about 4 seconds left. Agara with the ball.
She's got 18 points. Driving. Poole defending. Got the ball back. Dimitri tried to tie her up. And the arrow favors Clemson. Dimitri came in to tie up Poole.
How good has Anya Poole been in this game? That actually wasn't even a block. Agara just missed it. But Poole in a position to get the rebound. Ties it up. Clemson with the stop. And I go back to making sure that enough time is ticked off the clock by Stanford. That was too early in the game, or in the time, to put that shot up. Pass it around maybe a couple more times, then give Agara the ball. Now you're giving Clemson 8 seconds. Obviously, it'll be a quick foul to get them to the line. Hope they'll miss.
Well, the Tigers are trying to win their 7th home game of the year. The Cardinal has not won on the road so far this year. 0-4 and 0-2 in ACC road games. Two-point lead, Clemson.
And no timeouts for Clemson. A quick foul, and they got her in the face, unfortunately.
So McQueen, fouled by Shea Ijiwoye.
Not the one you wanted to foul. She's 10 of 12 from the free throw line. She's made a living there as Ijiwoye fouls out of the game.
McQueen back to the line. Graduate student from Florence, South Carolina. Her 108th career college game sets her career high in points. She can improve upon that with these free throws.
Her college career out of high school took a circuitous route back to her home state of South Carolina, finishing her year here at Clemson in front of her home crowd. Knocked down 2 huge free throws.
And actually now it's 4 in a row, Kelly, right?
Unbelievable.
12 of 14 from the stripe for McQueen. Timeout Stanford.
Ice in her veins. Stanford advances the ball. And honestly, with 8.1 seconds, I think you can go for a quick 2 and then foul immediately, hoping that somebody will miss a free throw. Obviously, if you can get the 3, sure, but I think 9 seconds is enough time. Try to even get the entry pass into the paint to let Agara turn and score.
So if you're looking for a 3, Kelly, Stanford is 5 of 17 on 3-pointers. Dimitri has 3 of those makes. Boscana has the other 2. Boscana on the inbounds.
Oh, and right now, I would put somebody with long arms on Bascana. I mean, that's an easy pass.
Dimitri, one dribble and the three. Front rim. Moore pulls it down.
Wow.
McQueen has the ball, and time runs out in overtime. The Tigers beat the Cardinal